Time?
All right, now let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Okay? This is rolling right now?
This is rolling, but I'm not gonna like
Chop this off, okay?
Yeah.
How am I looking at you? Am I looking at the camera?
You could look at either, but it's just me and you.
Me and
We're
you
just
talking.
Yeah.
So look at you.
Yeah, you could look. You could look here.
Anywhere.
You could look anywhere,
All right,
man.
good. I'm not on TV a lot, so.
You're not on TV a lot. You're always on TV.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Dan Rickard, women's assistant coach at Stony Brook. Wu here. How you been?
Been doing great. Yeah, I'm excited you came out, man.
I'm always happy to be here. Taxpayer money. It's part
Yeah,
of
you got
my
the beautiful
10 cents.
facility. Yeah, you got the nice facility here, right? So it's brand new, only a couple years old.
So story is Dan and I, we met through Jay.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we took that trip.
Coach Young, we took a trip to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to go to the Pitt Jam Fest.
Yeah. Crazy.
No,
we came back. I came back with you. I didn't. No, we
No,
didn't.
we picked you up. Yeah, we picked you up. I remember driving through Queens. I think you ran in off the BQE and just jumped in the back seat, and then we took the rest of the way up to Pittsburgh and hopped back in the car with us.
Dan has a cool story. He's been here for a long time.
Yeah, a long time. Graduated from here.
Yeah.
Played here for a couple years for Coach Nick Macarchuk, who is a great guy and was the first Division I head coach here.
And then Pikes came in.
Yeah, and then I worked for Coach Macarchuk for 1 year, and then Coach Pikiell got the job. Pikes came in, and he kept me on staff, which was awesome. We had 11 really good years together.
Yeah.
And then had a lot of success, and he was fortunate enough to get the Rutgers job.
Wait, did you play all 4 years here?
I played 2 years. I transferred in here. So
Where were you before?
I played for my dad at Orange County Community College. Yeah,
Okay.
at JUCO up in upstate New York.
Yeah, because I was like, I thought you played 4 the whole time.
No, I was a 2-year guy. 2 years.
2 years here.
Yeah.
And then the rest has been Stony Brook since 2002.
Since 2002. Yeah, so it's my 16th year here, 14th year coaching.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing how quickly it's gone.
Being one of the main furnitures and the statues of Stony Brook, did you ever see yourself being here for this long?
It's a great question. I mean,
when you went to Stony Brook, you had like some kind of a 5-10 year vision.
Right. I mean, for me, it was important for me to I thought I wanted to be a coach. My father was a coach, so I grew up thinking about being a coach. That's what I always wanted to be, a basketball coach. And so I picked Stony Brook. I was a walk-on here, so I picked Stony Brook because I thought it was my best avenue to get into coaching.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, Coach Macarchuk gave me a great chance. He gave me my first chance. And, I wasn't the best player, but I made it on the team, and he let me travel with them. And then after that first year, he was here for both years.
Okay.
And then I worked for him for 1. So it was a great experience for me. I was 22 years old and I was an assistant coach. I knew nothing, right? I knew nothing. Thought I had all the answers, had no answers, and he was great for me. And then Pikes got the job here. He left GW, he was the associate coach there, had a ton of success there, and he gets the job here, and that was invaluable.
He kept you.
Yeah, and that's really where my coaching career really started. Just learning under him.
So then you graduated here, got your master's here.
Yep. So for 2 years, I was a GA. I guess the director of operations now, but that was my role. But I was the graduate assistant for 2 years for Coach Pikiell.
And now getting your PhD in basketball here.
It's been a long process. I wish I could get those letters, but yeah, it certainly felt like that.
Stony Brook. We're gonna go back a little bit here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Stony Brook all the way through the NCAAs, right?
Yeah, it was awesome. This facility certainly wasn't what it looked like when we first started here.
It's the one next door.
Yeah, exactly. We played upstairs in what is now our practice gym, but we had some humble beginnings, to say the least, and just built it up year after year after year after year. And we're fortunate. We're knocking on the door a bunch of times to go to the NCAA Tournament, and finally in 2016, a guy named Jameel Warney, right? I think you know Jameel.
Yeah.
Had 43 points and 10 rebounds in the championship game, and we finally punched the ticket to play Kentucky in the NCAA Tournament. So it was a great run, and it was a lot of fun to build it from scratch, basically.
Right.
And I was here even before Coach Pikiell got here, so even before that, to see it from there to the end was awesome.
We talked about the blue mascot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We had Wolfie. Wolfie's our mascot. Wolfie's the best. The kids love
But
him.
it was blue back
he
then,
used to
like
be
Smurf color
yeah,
blue,
Smurf
right?
color blue. Exactly. It wasn't a great logo. We've changed the logo now. It's a much more attractive logo than it used to be. But
So if you're watching this, you can figure out we're the same age.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys get to the NCAAs.
Mm-hmm.
Pikes go to Rutgers.
Mm-hmm.
You decide to go to Rutgers.
Yeah, I went with the coach, offered me a job down there. It was awesome. It was nice for him to do that. I went down there. I was with him for 2 months. And
then,
was down there practicing and did some recruiting down there for a couple months. And, it was a great opportunity. But for me, my wife is an associate AD here. She works in the life skills office, right? So she's the associate AD for student athlete development and life skills. And we got three little kids. And it was just one day, Coach Caroline McCombs, who's my boss now on the women's side, she offered me a job. She called me up and was like, listen, one of my assistants just left, and I know you just left to go to Rutgers, but I know you have your family's here. Do you have any interest coming back to Stony Brook and working on the women's side?
And then you're like, okay.
No, it was a tough decision. I mean,
Yeah.
Coach Pikiell, and I knew Coach Young and Coach Pikiell.
Absolutely.
They've been my family for a long
Yeah.
time. They were great mentors for me. And so it was a tough decision. I actually, Coach McCombs, it's funny she say it, like I turned it down one time because it was hard for me to leave those guys. But it was also a better decision for my family and for my wife and for my kids. And so Stony Brook was great. They came back and offered me a really nice position, the associate coaching position. And so I took the job.
See, a lot of people move around
Mm-hmm.
jobs to jobs, but this is like more of one of the big reasons for you is more family-based.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
family's always been important to me. Like I was telling you before, I'm one of 7 kids. My dad was a coach. We all live in the New York, Connecticut area. A lot of my family, my parents made their home up in Orange County, New York. So that's where I grew up. But then, we branched far to Westchester County, to Long Island. So not very far. So my family's always been a big part of my life. And then obviously my wife, I met her here at Stony Brook. She worked here.
Yeah. When did you guys meet?
She'll kill me for saying this, but she was on staff here. My senior year in college was her first year on staff here. Yeah, it wasn't anything like that. No, I wasn't that good back then. And then after a couple years working, we got to know each other as friends first,
Yeah.
and then started dating a little bit after that. So, and then we've had 3 kids since we've been here. So,
Yeah. Did you think she would? Oh, she was here already.
She was here
She was
first.
already
Yeah,
here.
she went to Seton Hall.
Okay.
She's from Wisconsin. She went to Seton Hall and actually worked in the basketball office. Not in the basketball office, in the academic office there, and she helped tutor basketball. And so her mentor is a woman named Robin Cunningham. Robin is like the guru of academic advisors, right? She was like one of the originals. So Courtney worked for Robin. She wanted to be a doctor. She fell in love with helping kids get their degree.
So your wife was gonna be a doctor, but then
Yeah, her mother is a doctor, and that was the path she thought she was going to. Then she got to college and realized that that wasn't her passion, and her passion was trying to help kids, get degrees that play athletics.
and then met you.
And so she left Seton Hall, came to here. She was director of student athlete development at first, and then that's where I met her here.
And then boom, 3 kids.
Yeah, 3 kids later.
3 kids.
And we're still here.
Okay, so now you decided to come back here.
Mm-hmm.
What's the transition like? Not many people have worked on men's D1 and women's D1. What's that like? I mean, obviously the plays, this plays like the back of your hand,
Right.
but obviously different staff. So how does that?
Certainly. I mean, the great part is I do know Stony Brook, so
Yeah.
you didn't have to learn a new place, and that's important. The transition has been awesome. Our staff is great. Janie Mitchell's been awesome. She's one of the assistants. Audrey Cunningham, she's an assistant. She's awesome. And we have Al Njai, who played at Dowling College. He's awesome too. And then obviously Coach McCombs is tremendous. So they've really helped me in the transition. I am trying not to say like the guys, right? Because I would compare the women to the men a lot, and it's not fair to the women. It's a different game. But the process is still the same.
Yeah.
Recruiting is the same, right? You're trying to identify who the best fit is for your school. trying to find out who's helping them make their decision and get in with those people. So the process is the same. Coaching is the same process. Style may be a little different, but you're trying to get people bought in, right? You're trying to find the right people, get them to buy in, right? Hold them accountable, and move forward.
What's been some of the new stuff that you learned?
Nothing in terms of strategy or basketball, right? It's just, recruiting is different on the women's side. We start earlier, right? We've already locked up our 18 class. We're already on to 2019s on the women's side, 2020s.
What's the NCAA windows like?
We have 15 full scholarships on the women's side. The men have 13. We have 15, and that part is the same. We just, we've already just completed our 18 class. We just got 2 commitments, and we're trying to, move on to the 19 and 20 classes right now. And so there's not much that I've learned different in terms of strategy or recruiting stuff. It's just learning how to communicate is probably the best way. Learning how to coach in a different style.
In a different environment.
Yeah.
You've gone to one D1, one NCAA tournament. Mm-hmm. This school, first time ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. In Division I, we've had a really storied history in Division III.
Yeah.
And they have, you can look at the banners, I don't know if you can see them up there, but they had a lot of success Division III, but no success really Division II, and no success Division I. And it was a transition, so I don't want to say no success. There were building blocks.
Right.
But we went to one NCAA tournament in
Division I. You guys are now obviously aiming for that.
Right.
On the women's side.
And that's cool. That's the one thing that we haven't done on the women's side yet, is go to the NCAA tournament. And
so you could be one of the few. Right?
I don't know if it's ever happened before. If someone was part of a staff that went to the first men's Division I tournament and the first women's Division I tournament. So I'm hopeful. We've got a good crew. We've got a lot of new players in the program. There's seven new players. We also have 2 kids that were hurt last year that didn't play for us. So essentially 9 new players in the program.
Yeah.
It's obviously a big class for basketball, but they've been working really hard, and it's exciting.
What type of students and student athletes do you guys recruit here?
We're looking for the best and the brightest. I mean, I think we have a lot to offer here. It's a great place, and that hasn't changed from the men's and the women's, right? The opportunity here, the resources here are tremendous. You can see it. Look at the facility we're sitting in. It's one of the premier mid-major basketball facilities, certainly on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And this is just a small part of it, with our weight room, our academic center, our locker room, our film room. We've got a lot to offer facility-wise, but for us, it's all about trying to help these young women now when they get to college for the rest of their life, right? Trying to help them play basketball, but get a degree and then set themselves up for the rest of their life.
Hey, when they come in here with their parents and everything, before they get there,
Sure.
what's their perception, and then when they get here, what's their?
It's amazing, right? So I'm really biased. I think this place is tremendous. Right?
I know what you mean.
And so you would be amazed at how many people that haven't been here have a picture in their mind of what Stony Brook is.
Jeff says the same thing.
And when they get out here, they're just blown away by what they see. It's a 25,000 students. It's 1,100 acres. It's a mile and a half from the beach. You've got a train station on campus that takes you right into Penn Station. So we've got a really, really good, and it's one of the top research academic institutions in the country. We're part of the AAU, there's only 62 universities that are part of that, and we're one of them. So the vision here is big. It's a big vision, and we're trying to keep moving forward, and progress is really important for Stony Brook. And basketball and the athletic department is a part of that university goal.
Yeah. Do you see a lot of success carrying over onto the energy or whatever you could call it from the men's team a couple of seasons ago onto like the rest of the campus and athletic department?
Absolutely. I mean, we've in a short amount of time. I mean, the university is only celebrating its 60th anniversary, so we're only 60 years old. Like, it's a very, very It's a very young university.
But you've been here like 75% of the year, right?
About 10%, but no, a little bit more. But yeah, it's a really young university, and so the athletic successes that we have been big. Like, our baseball team went to the College World Series.
Yeah. In
2012. Don't quote me. I hope I'm not wrong. I think it was 2012.
And then one of the girls won the indoor champ.
Yeah, Lucy Van Dalen was an NCAA tournament champion in track and field. She was in the Olympics for New Zealand, right? So we've had some impressive feats. And then so that carried over. Our lacrosse team, our women's lacrosse team was a goal away from the Final Four this year. Our men's lacrosse team in 2010 was a goal away from the NCAA tournament for the Final Four in 2010. So we've had a lot of successes. And I don't, it's to say, I don't want to discredit any other program. Our other teams have done a great job. Our tennis program, our softball program, and down the line, our football program has won big. We're in the CAA now, but was in the Big South and won Big South championship. And got to bowl games in that level. So our programs have been really good along the board. So men's basketball, though, has helped the university. I mean, get to that NCAA tournament, I don't know if you were here that day, but the environment that day.
It was 10 a.m.
It was 10 a.m. game on ESPN2. And for us to,
Versus,
to get
was
to
it
celebrate.
Will Brown's team?
No, it was Vermont.
Oh, it was
we
Vermont
played
that year. Okay.
Yeah, Vermont came in here, and it was a great game, but it was an unbelievable environment. And, we had been knocking on the door for so long. Every year we were like, that was the goal of ours, was to compete for a championship every single year, and we were competing for a championship every year. And when we finally won it, this community really embraced it, the students really embraced it. So I say, sure, I think that championship and what Jeff's doing now is carrying over to all the sports programs here.
Okay, and then the women's, obviously you're getting a lot more interest than years ago.
Yeah, no, I think for the women's program, as I've seen it, there's been
and being in it.
Right, there's been a lot of turnover here on the women's side, a lot of different head coaches, and so Coach Caroline's here, Coach McCombs is here now. This is her 4th season, so we've had some stability now. There's not the turnover that there was. There's continuity, and so anytime you get continuity and stability, success follows. And she's done a great job laying the groundwork, and we're ready. We're ready now to start competing for championships. If that's this year, if it's next year, if it's 5 years down the road, I don't know, but we're certainly ready to start doing that.
Do you have any international students?
We do.
On the team?
Yeah, we do. We've had internationals in the past, but and I don't know, it's not necessarily international. They're from Puerto Rico. But we have 2 kids that played with the Puerto Rican national team over in FIBA this summer. They're over in Italy, and they just got back in August 1st. So we have a point guard and a front court player. We're both from Puerto Rico, and so we've got the international flair. We've had again, it's a national recruiting base, right? We've tried to regionalize some recruiting. Obviously, that makes sense, but this is a national university, and so we've attracted kids from Florida, Georgia, Midwest, out west. So it's been great.
What else is building on campus here besides new rec?
Sure.
A couple of years old now.
Yeah,
right?
we've got the new recreation center.
Took me to the dining hall.
Brand new dining hall, new dorms. I mean, this we just welcomed our largest ever incoming class at Stony Brook. Yeah, the largest incoming.
Okay.
President Stanley, who's our president here, Sam Stanley, has done a great job. We just got the email, right, the welcome back, and this is our largest incoming class in the history of the school. So everything is building, and our student union is being renovated now. So there's a lot of fence, that fence with that green fencing up there, but it's good because it's progress. And if you're not building on campus, you're not making any progress.
One of my family friends, relative, their kid is here, freshman.
Oh yeah, no, it's a great place, and there's a lot. What athletics does for any university, it instills some pride, right? And it helps alums identify with their place, their alumni. So it was, athletics has been great for us and for the school in general.
Hey, for you to come back here, return, a lot of people they're always going different jobs here. For you, you were really heavy on the family aspect of things.
Sure.
Like, just take me through just a little bit more about what's that like as a college coach?
It's difficult. Sure, it's difficult.
Making that decision, because there's other people who are watching this and be like, dude, I am in your seat.
Sure. I mean, you try to do what's best for your family. I mean, and it could be different things. For me, I felt like it was coming back. Yeah. I know a lot of great fathers that have traveled to different job. It doesn't mean that they're not great family men, but for me, what was best for my family, I thought was coming back here. So I think it's tremendous. It's great. I got 3 little ones, a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old, and I just think they come to games, they come to the soccer games, they know other athletes, not just our girls, which they love. They want to FaceTime our players every night, right? Because they think that's really cool, right?
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah, it's awesome because they babysit. Much better babysitters on the women's side than on the men's side. That's
really?
For sure. Oh, much better. The guys, they like tie you to a tree and say they'll be there. The women actually, they interact.
No, seriously.
Yeah, they're great.
Who has babysat your children?
So for on the women's side, we've had Gio Perez, who's one of the Puerto
Okay.
Ricans. We've had Oxy, who's a Canadian, who's on our team.
All right.
Haley, who's from Pittsburgh. Kenzie, you don't know these people,
Yeah.
but
You just
they
leave
all
them here.
do. Yeah, they come in.
Or they'll come to your
You know,
house.
for me, it's difficult when I'm recruiting. My wife is busy too. I mean, she's
Yes.
got a really important job here, and so there was those times where it crosses over where we need babysitters.
We need staff support.
Absolutely. So it's worked out great.
So the boys side, on the men's side, years ago when you were there, it was a little different.
They don't do diapers. The guys, they can't do diapers. Our kids are too little. You know, they're too little.
Oh, because they were at the diaper mode. at the
Oh,
time.
sure. They're still in diapers, a couple
So
of them.
You have two in diapers still.
My daughter, it's a big week for her, right?
Okay.
She's like right on that edge. She's just starting to get potty trained. So it'll be nice when we can get out of diapers. That's for sure.
like getting into the NCAA.
Yeah,
tournament,
exactly. It's like hitting the lottery. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like no bottles, no diapers.
What is some of the things you personally learned? What's something very valuable for you, being a college coach, being a former D1 player, being a coach's son? Like, what has brought you value to your life through basketball, just the game of basketball?
Basketball has been great for me, but it's, athletics in general. Basketball has been great for me in a lot of ways. It really, being part of a team, being part of something that's bigger than yourself is what gives you value. We talk about it here, being selfless, being loyal, being accountable. That's really important to us here at Stony Brook. And so those are things that you learn through basketball. When you have to depend on somebody that's not you, and you let somebody down or you build them up, those things are really important. You grow great relationships. So lifelong relationships, and then being a part of a team, that's the thing that you love. That's why coaches do it. They do it to help people be a part of something bigger than themselves.
Yeah. Dan, thank you.
Wu, I appreciate it, man. Thanks.